Right, let's continue. So this foreign key constraint, on the previous lesson we spoke about types of databases, right? How many can you remember?
Three types of databases.
Uh-huh.
NoSQL
Yeah.
databases, key value
Yeah.
databases, and relational
Yeah.
databases.
Okay, cool. This is it, right? Uh, this foreign key thing is basically uh, one of the unique features of relational databases. NoSQL don't have foreign keys. Uh, for if you paid attention at the presentation, they created block, right? Uh, and developers were able to make posts, right? So it's a relation one to many. One developer can have multiple posts. Relational database would be useful there, but they went for MongoDB, which is NoSQL, and they said like, we went for NoSQL because of it's slightly simpler, but we didn't have relations in our database. Uh, but for but for them it would be useful. Imagine we have outer, like a developer, right? As a relation like one, and posts as many side of the relation. If, for example, developer removes himself from their platform, it would be quite logical to remove all the posts of his, right, or of her, and it would be helpful for them. So cascade delete would be totally useful there. Right. Let's keep going. Let's see what we can do. So we created department, right? Let's create employees table. All the commas seems to be in place, right? Should be fine. Cannot add foreign key constraint. Why is it happening? All right, one of the reasons it might be type mismatch. So we have department ID here as int, and here we have department ID as medium int. Let's try to change it. Oh, I'm gonna change it here. All right, now it's fine. So again, I know this error because I know it, right? You don't know it. So what you can do, you can Google it. You just copy error message, open Google, bam. And you see straight here the link to Stack Overflow. All right, here it says type mismatch, right? So you can Google literally everything. You are not new to the problems you're gonna see. It's not something new in this world. Before you, many developers had these problems, these errors and these mistakes. This is how it works. And we are very lucky to have Stack Overflow. In my childhood, we didn't have Stack Overflow, and we had to look at this MySQL manual, which is written by, like, I don't know, like magicians or something like that, for other magicians from different centuries. It's very inconvenient. But now you can just Google everything and solve it quickly.
Yeah, but sometimes we get a lot of results, and it also requires some additional skills to understand the codes. So it's not
Yeah,
easy.
that's right. That's right. That's why skill of Googling and Stack Overflowing is very nice skill for you to have.
Yeah,
That's why we
right.
spend so much time Googling things today and going to Stack Overflow to answer to this nice green thing. You can just Google everything. So again, what we have create table query here, right? It has first part of ID. Every table gonna have it, like, except cross tables. They don't have this sort of IDs. Then we have important fields like name of employee and salary. This is like the meaning of this table. Then we have foreign key ID. We have primary key constraint. Why do we have it here?
Because you create an auto increment for the ID,
Uh-huh.
and you have to make a primary key.
Yeah.
Can just be put them in the same line.
Hmm?
Primary key ID, just primary key on the same line of the ID initialization, the line of the ID. Can we put the primary key, this line, up there?
Probably not.
Not?
You have to have field, and then you have to assign primary key to it.
Okay.
In this in the latest section of this query, you're gonna have all the possible kind of keys, like primary key. You can have foreign key, and also you can have like unique key if you want to. You can have different composite keys, because you for some tables you can have primary key, but also you might want to assign like some composite keys,
Okay.
like addition. It's not excluding. I mean, you can have primary key, and also you can have some composite keys, unique keys, or whatever you want to do else. All right. So we have this foreign key. Let's go further and, for example, you have forgotten to add one more field here to employee table. You have forgotten to add reports to field.
Those two.
Yeah, it means some employee gonna report to some other employee,
Okay.
and you don't have this field, and you really need this. What you gonna do? Is it you gonna need to execute the query, right? But what kind of query is it gonna be?
Structure. Outer table.
Yeah, alter table,
Yes.
and we have this sort of query like alter table employee add column reports to medium int. Is everything clear about this query?
You just add a new column, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah. Alter table. I specify the table which I want to alter, which I want to change basically. Then I specify what I want to do. I want to add column. Also, like we saw before, I can use change column, or when we were changing like to default null, right, and not null values, remember it, right? The column name and the column type. So by my idea, it's supposed to be something like that. We can have employees, and there will be some employee who is the boss. Some people gonna report to the boss, some people gonna report to some other people. What if I and this field reports to, it's gonna refer this field in employees table. So basically, from one table, we're gonna refer to the same table. Complicated, right? We'll see it further, but will it work like this, or shall I put in here? It's again the same problem of matching field types like we had for foreign key.
The ID is medium int, and you post this int here. And
Mhm.
it will not match.
Yeah,
It will cause error when we
Mhm.
try to
yeah.
insert it.
So we want to have medium in here, right? See, matching types are very important. Like I said on the first lesson, types are very important in SQL. All right, it happened. Let's have a look at the change. Describe or select? Describe employee. Right, it's there. Let's go further.
What does it mean, MUL?
Hmm?
The key set on the table. There is MUL. Yes, multiple. No, no,
No.
not no.
No,
MUL.
You change your class.
No, it's talking about me.
I can't quite remember what exactly this abbreviation means, but it means that this field has a foreign key attached to it. All right, well, let's Google it. We love to Google, huh? What does mul mean in MySQL for the key? All right, what does it mean? So we have primary key, unique key, right? And
Multiple, yes.
yep. So it's a key, but it's not a unique key, and multiple values which are identical can be there. For example,
Is it because of the many to many?
one to many.
One,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah, that's right.
So one employee can work for many
Report.
So
Departments. One department may have many employees.
yeah, and in this column we're gonna have
for one department.
99, 99, just like there. It's not unique. This field is not unique, so it means like multiple occurrences can be there. Also, you might. We already spoke about DQL and SQL. Also, you can add foreign key afterwards. For example, if you have a table and you want to make a relation to some other table, you can just set this foreign key for you. What kind of query is it gonna be?
To set foreign key.
Yeah. Is it data or structure operational query? Structure, right?
Change the-
We are working on the table.
We are working on the table level, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna copy the rest of the sentence.
Don't add.
Yeah, I just want-
Oh, I think I already have it there, right? But anyway, if you've forgotten to add a foreign key from the first iteration, you also can have to do it later, right? Let's see what if I do it right now? What will happen? Cannot add foreign key constraint. But let's have a look. Is errors the same? 12.15. 12.15 cannot add foreign key constraint.
The department table does not have any field named ID. I think it is depth ID.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think
What does not allow?
Oh, typo again. Oh, look at this.
It's logic.
Oh, let's describe.
Same.
Mm-hmm. All right. So probably because of it's the same foreign key, it worked. Then we need to talk about dumping MySQL data and uploading this data, uploading data to your database. Imagine you have your database locally on your computer, and someone asks you, "Can you give me this database?" What you gonna do? You first can create a user for this database locally and give to your colleague an access to your local database, right? But it's slightly complicated. You have to set up like a network between two of your computers, like all these firewalls and stuff like that. But also you can basically put your database in file and just give the file to the person. This is how you do this. You already had a command line class, right? In command line, let's have a look. I just gonna create a new window. We have this kind of command. How do I know what does it do? Oh, what is it happening here? Oh, it's just a massive help.
Yeah.
Well, it's not very helpful, is it? All right.
What we are checking? What we are looking at?
We are looking at the help of MySQL dump. Basically, this is the only one useful sentence so far. And here it explains how to use it. I don't know how much understandable this is for you. for me it's not much understandable. So we're gonna look at my example better. So what we're gonna do, we have this MySQL dump command which can connect to your database server. Basically, it's one more client for your database. Remember that we have like MySQL server, right? And we can have different kinds of clients to the server, right?
Yeah.
Like JS client.
CLI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also GUI clients.
Yeah, cool. So this one is one more client. Here we specify -u root without any spaces, all right?
Why?
You don't ask me.
Okay.
This is how it's designed by all these bearded guys who invented MySQL like ages ago. Yeah, I know. Let's have a look at manual. Maybe manual says something about that, no? I just want to have a look at this help again. Maybe it says something about that.
Usually if it's like one dash, it knows when it's going to be just one character, so you don't need a space. It's always like so dash and the flag is always one character. So you don't need the space, you can omit the space. But
Is it always like that?
You can omit it if you want, I think, yeah. Or you can add a space in the middle.
Alright, I'm very much sorry about that, guys, but manual doesn't describe much about that. During the command line lections, did anyone post you useful manuals for the commands? Like where people explain to people how to use this? Not like that, but in a proper way, in a human readable way. No? Alright, I gonna post it to you later so you can get proper help out of it. Well, so far we're just gonna forget about this terrible manual. Right, so you specify -u and then you specify username without any space. Got it so far, right?
Yeah.
Then -p goes, which means password.
Yes.
But for my user root, I don't have any password. But I still specify -p here with nothing. So it's just -p. If I would have a password, it would be like password here or something like that, you know? Yeah. Then we have userdb, which is our database which we're gonna dump. Probably you know what is this. What's that? Yeah, it's like redirect output to this file. Ah, cool. Oh, let's try it. So, see the difference. Here we use command line, right? And here we use MySQL. And we're gonna keep using command line because this command works from command line, not from MySQL. All right. Okay, it's asking me for password, which is not there, but I'm gonna press enter because I have empty password. Nothing has been output, but it means, what does it mean?
This is throw an error, so it means done.
Yeah, it doesn't throw an error, so it means it's done. I hope you're enjoying this very nice interface of this command, like very friendly and nice, right? How do I know where is this file?
This is the question.
It is on the file that you are working on the client CLI. You can pwd
Same on there.
create working directory.
Yeah,
It is on that folder.
Done there.
yeah. Or I can do something like ls, right?
Yeah.
Cool. List files, right? And here we have this this guy. What inside? What's inside? Yeah, what kind of data is inside?
Just surprise us.
SQL queries.
SQL queries, what kind of queries?
Structure. The first structure of queries that creates the tables.
Uh-huh.
And then the records insert into to populate the table with
Yeah.
the data where it was.
Yeah, it's this is how it is. But why don't we put some sort of insertion query in front of structure query?
We should create the table because we will send the file to another.
Cool. Let's check if it's true, huh? So, first we have some sort of dash dash, which means it's a command. It's not gonna be parsed by MySQL, right? Here we have some MySQL dump version like host localhost, database user DB, server version, da. Then we have all this like char sets, which gonna help us. If you will create such a dump on Windows machine and give to your colleague who uses Unix machine, there might be problems because my Windows has some sort of Windows encoding and Unix has UTF-8 or some other kind of encoding, and you might want to look at this old character set client and you're gonna enjoy this process. Then goes table structure for department, right? Here it says drop table if exist. Well, it's quite rude, but anyway. Then we have create table query, right? Here it also specifies char set. Probably it's not the case anymore. It happened a lot in my childhood when we had to share MySQL databases between like Windows and Unix computers. Maybe now it's fixed. I don't know. So now it's interesting part goes dumping data for table department. Here it says log tables department for writing. It means nobody else can write at this table anymore so far. And then it doesn't log tables. So we can, I don't know, it doesn't make much sense, but anyway, it's there. It's something new to me. Then we have the same for employees table. It creates table here. And students we have. Aha. Look. Here we have log tables, unlog tables, right? And nothing happened in between because of those are comments. Because we are trying to dump empty table. No data is inserted, right? But if we see it down below, we see something like log tables student for write. So nobody can write to this table and have conflicts, concurrency conflicts with us. And then we insert our data, right? And then we unlock table. So everyone else can write again to this table with the new information. Makes sense, right?
But firstly you lock it and after that you insert it. It was locked.
Yeah, it's locked for everyone else, but for us it's fine. This is how it works. So we have structure for teachers, and we insert. We also log tables, so we insert some teachers here, and unlock tables, and this is the end. This is how it works. Basically, it's a representation of your database in form of queries. When I discovered how it works, I was like, it's very strange. Why would it be just a text? Okay. So far it's clear how to make it, right? Wanna try it yourself? Come on. It's a practical lesson. I'm gonna put on the screen the command I have executed.
Yeah, I know how to create a new compound, but first I would just see what's inside.
We have that user database created last.
Hmm?
The user database created last lecture.
Yeah, probably.
You can try it. Yeah, just try it.
I can just do the name for it.
You need to run this from the command line. So,
From command line.
Yeah, not from MySQL.
And I think the pipe sign is the angle bracket, that's the Unix command, so probably won't recognize those.
In Windows, you're supposed to have something like git shell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where you should execute it.
I've got error.
What's error?
Can you run
I
MySQL?
didn't mention any
Okay,
password.
just type MySQL up, see if the command is there.
As this error.
No, just type MySQL. MySQL.
Do you have
Should I check if I have
Just can you do it's working directories, PWD. Okay, so if you actually find out where
our user
you go into the command,
What's your interface?
yes. Just here. This one has my address, right? You should just type my
Okay.
inside it.
Okay, but my database is broke.
Hmm?
I have a question about this after
So you have to direct to
Uh-huh.
there is this key depth, and you don't see it anywhere. So why is it there? What does it exactly mean?
This is the name of the foreign key.
Where can we see it? Like it's not on the table.
Let's Google it.
How are we gonna use it? It's something you gave, right? Like something like.
Yeah, but it's
MySQL C foreign keys, right?
So it's like see where it was installed.
Yeah, you can
Do you have to give it a name because you're gonna use it somewhere, or it's like on the table?
You have to give the name, right? But I don't usually see, look at it from. Hang on.
password? Great, now you connect. Now let's show the database.
Yeah, they get the folder name from that.
So basically, it's this kind of query, and we're gonna put it here.
Okay,
No,
so
you need type.
Now let's go
Maybe
out.
type it in.
From employees, right?
Yeah.
Maybe move this so we can type this in.
And now let's check the dump again.
It's slash C.
Or we created it for department. I can't remember.
Oh, type
Slash.
we created for them. So
Well,
PRO.
hang on.
Externally tagged. Tagged. I think because this is auto-complete.
We have this foreign key here, right? References department. So it's supposed to be shown. I usually see it something like this.
It's just to minimize.
So we have employees, I have structure,
Because we don't know which
and
database.
down here, like we have structure, and down here it shows your foreign keys. But I'm not sure what kind of query you should execute to see it from the command line.
So how to find this?
You use this for in like you should like trigger like you use it for some example point I guess name so that you give it a name.
No, you use a name only when you want to remove it. Until that time it says silent. Nothing is happening to it.
Like if you wanna drop this fee key that for the employee,
Yeah.
you say okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's escape the space.
Yeah, and also syntax requires a name.
Yeah.
Without this,
But I guess there is a it needs to use it at somewhere. That's why it's asking, and the place that we are supposed to use it like for this foreign key. But not it's like if I wanna join these tables, we are not
Yeah.
gonna see this. We're gonna do it on the depth ID, right? Not with this f key depth name.
not with this foreign key name. No. We're gonna do it with joins, and we're gonna look at joins slightly later.
Okay, thank you.
No, it's you need to use just do
I don't know what we use, but I don't know this.
yeah. No, MySQL is already in
Yeah, how to.
And okay, nice. So now it's finally big. Now type big.
Control C.
Okay, that's also okay. That's also directory. So in there you can ABCD from the start.
How to access
change directory.
Vim command?
Q.
Command.
Yeah, we still in the slash.
Okay,
Come again.
This command
Escape.
Yeah, slash.
First,
Yeah,
okay. Colon, 2 points, colon,
Q. This is the C. Okay. Okay, nice. So now do you use ALS? Colon.
Yes.
Okay. Additional MySQL. Now we can just type MySQL out there.
say, please. It doesn't work. Flashback.
Escape.
But it seems that your
How many times?
teach you. Okay, I need this something. Okay, this one.
Now I'm trying to do again.
Okay.
Maybe in
So
the
now you can
meeting,
type
there was
the
a problem in the meeting.
no, no, there you go.
No, it's okay. Don't download it. You have it this
Huh?
Do you can
Is it raining?
yeah, it's
Oh man. How do we close this?
Yeah.
This one guy came here with a screen.
Yeah. Does it hit the screen?
Can I just move the phone?
No, probably
Yeah.
we should close it.
Slider Vim'le görüyorsun ya.
Yeah.
Ekmek
Okay, no, I think this is right. But it just we don't have to deny it because
I think he get the problem.
when you install MySQL, you install as admin.
Turkish.
But now you
Just June. Even
So you can sudo
I
like
did this setup as well, and I
you run this command and simply use it.
face with this interface and ask me user is
Okay, or
and
you
I
can
provide
dump this
some.
into
Yeah, someone out.
Okay, so that's the problem. But you see, here
Yeah,
you install
Really like only in the C drive. So what's happening here is like it runs like
Oh, there is zero. There is more. No, it's
anything into the color. So if you create like a code somewhere else, you can write down it's like that, and then you can give that pass. Yeah, it's easy, but if you take it in the slash C, it's best time.
But this is a lot of things.
No, it's the algo. It's algo, yeah.
It's like
I learned about it.
All right. How is it going?
Yeah, we correct.
Yeah? Maybe we shall continue, huh? Because we still have a lot to cover and like we don't have much time.
Now run that.
Still running?
Oh, close it! Yeah, it was like dripping badly.
It's drifting.
Yeah, probably you can leave the stick here.
Yeah, I'm gonna take these back.
Oh, okay. All right, people who've done it, you've done it, but let's don't waste time on this, because right, it's gonna be part of your homework, okay? Yeah, you're gonna be dumping all the bias databases possible.
You remove X step out of the one this is then you can see it in the screen. We delete the last one.
All right, once you have the dump file, how do you apply it? I mean, you have the dump, right? You have empty database. What you gonna do next? You need to upload this file to your database, right? You can do it in two ways. You can use MySQL command line of MySQL when you logged into MySQL, right? And there you just can have source command. Here it says usage. All right, it's quite clear error message. So basically it says specify file name, and here you specify your file name, and the path supposed to start with slash. It's like it's gonna be absolute path, not relative. Yeah, you know the difference between relative path and absolute path, right?
No.
Come on, command line election, no?
We are not good at command line.
Huh?
We are not good at command line.
You should be.
Yeah, we know.
So,
So you say source?
huh? Come on, shut out loud.
We had just one week lesson for command line.
Yeah, sure, but you don't need more.
Okay.
Look, you have file system in Unix operation system which starts with dash, and then you have mount users tmp right?
Yeah.
This is the home directory, and here you have like child directories. Then you have like few more directories here and there. When you specify absolute path, it means it starts with slash. It starts with very start of whole operation system in Unix. This is how you want to specify it, because MySQL doesn't know where you currently are located. MySQL doesn't have pwd command at this command line of MySQL.
Yeah.
MySQL operates with database, so you want to specify source, and like in my case, it's users, Igor, and I have this dump. but still, the path supposed to start with slash. You'll find out. If the path is not correct, you won't upload your dump. So it would better be correct. Also, you can upload without getting into MySQL from command line. You already see the difference, right? This is MySQL, and this is just command line. The difference is quite clear, right? So you can do it like this from MySQL and like this from command line. Important difference for dumping, you have a special tool MySQL dump, and for uploading you have MySQL. It's to not get confused with that, right? MySQL.
Line first for the first action, and the second by using MySQL.
Yeah, these two things, these two lines are identical. They're gonna produce the same result, exactly the same result. They're gonna upload the dump to a database. It's clear so far? Right. Then I want to talk a little bit about migrations. So far, we know how to upload, download and upload whole database, right? Like whole. But what happens if if Ezra asks me for the latest changes in my database? She says, like, give me the latest changes to your database. I'm asking, like, do you need to have my dump? She's like, no, I'm interested only in the latest changes. And I know that I created a table after I gave her the previous dump of mine, right? So I'm giving her only this query to create this table and maybe some data, if she wants to. This partial dump is called migrations. This is what you're gonna be dealing with every day. When, why, and how you need this? For example, you join the team, you have new work, they have some sort of database already, right? And you're working on some new user story, and it says, all right, receive input from user, save it to the table, and return user some sort of response. And this table gonna be a new table. You will need to create a new table, which is not there yet. So you'll create a structure with this like nice create table query, right? It's gonna be empty table. But how this table appears to be there on production server? It's only there on your local computer. So what people do, they created migration. Why is it called migration? It's a big mystery. But what does it do? It adds small changes to the main existing database without deleting the database, without
Kind of branch, like branch in the.
Yeah, it's very similar to branch in Git, but it adds some more data. It's basically very small queries which gonna change this database. So most probably your project gonna have something like migrations folder, and in migrations folder you're gonna have up and down two kind of files. What's happening? In up file, which means like upload migration, right? In this migration file, you have your definition of the table, and while deploying the application, the script will pick up your migration and just execute this query against the database. So while deployment process, your table will appear there. Down file will be there in case of something went wrong and you want to roll back your migration. You don't want to apply changes. For example, you specified encoding in wrong way and something goes wrong and you want to roll back your migration. So if in app file you have create table, in down file you're gonna have delete table, drop table, because it's structural query, right? Well, I didn't know. You haven't done anything like that before, right? All right, let me put it like this. At work, when you need to create a new table, you just go to your like team lead or like more experienced colleague and ask, how do I create a migration to create my table? They're gonna explain you more in details. But I want you to understand that we can have big dump of whole database, right? And we can have small migrations to slightly change this database without ruining everything. This is it. You want to remember it and like most probably you're gonna use it a lot.
We will see it date order. We will see it the date order, or which one is the lastest, or which one the first.
Yeah.
Changes.
Yeah, it's gonna be related to date because migration is supposed to be executed in order. Every migration gonna have a number. But when you need to do this, you just go and ask your colleague about that. It's very common practice. Every project has migrations. This is how we update database. We need to add some more data to our tables because we're gonna be looking at aggregation queries. So let's insert some, let's add some data to department so we can perform these queries. We have nothing there, right? I have one prepared query here. Insert into department, set department ID, department name, and department head. How is this syntax different from the previous syntax? Remember how we were specifying insert?
Yeah, the two different ways.
Insert table name,
Yeah.
Department, value,
values, but not
and inside
Yeah.
parentheses, we use the first, just the data. And
Insert into table name, then parentheses, right? Fields, and then goes values with like one more parenthesis and like some values there, right? So this is slightly different syntax for it. Right? Insert into department, set department ID, dep name, and department head, the person name. Let's insert one more department. It's gonna be dev. ID gonna be 102, and Tunmesh still gonna be the lead of the head of that department, because he also can do dev and fun both. Then we're gonna insert one more department front end dev, and Ahmed gonna be the boss. He likes to do the front end, huh?
Yeah.
Um, then we're gonna put. All right, any ideas? Who wants to be lead of what department?
If you spell my name correctly.
Cool.
Nice.
Huh?
That works. Yeah,
No, you tell me.
it's RABIE.
Cycle.
Cool.
What department you gonna lead?
See you.
Purchasing.
Chasing?
Purchasing.
Huh?
Purchase.
Ah. All right. And oh,
I don't know.
all right. See, finally it works, right?
Yeah.
And one more department you have to lead.
HR.
Where all the ladies, huh?
Just make life easier.
HR?
Yeah.
So, all right. Let's have a look. What do we have in our table? All right. We have a few departments with some IDs, right, and some department heads. What if we want to know how many departments leads Rabi? Like, all right, we can see that it's 2 here, right? But imagine we have like large table and like we don't know how many. We just cannot see it in one screen, and we don't want to do manual calculation.
You want to count,
Huh?
right? You want to count, not names.
Yeah. So MySQL has a very useful thing. It's called aggregation functions. So you can get minimum value or maximum value, average value, like count some things, you know, and you can combine these functions in very creative way to achieve many different results. I don't know. You can calculate amount of money earned this month among one department, for example. You can calculate how many departments Rabi leads. You can get the lowest salary in the department with mean function, right? But let's have a look how it works in practice, right? Select count. We're gonna count field department ID where
Department head. Is,
right?
can I use is here?
No. Is for some sort of it's a reserved word for MySQL purposes, you know. It's very limited usage. Most probably you're gonna use something like equals more often. All right. This is how we count it. I'm gonna explain this query to you. So here we make a select statement, but we are not selecting many rows. We are basically calculating an expression here. Count counts how many occurrences happened. And I put here dept ID because of department ID is some sort of unique value here. So I want to, basically this query says, I want to count all the department IDs, how many of them, where department head is Rabi. It's not gonna count rows, it's gonna count department IDs.
For instance, how many times this repeats?
Yeah. Right? What also would work here? Where statement. Oh, no. What else I can put in count and parentheses here? What is also quite unique here?
Count.
Test name.
Yeah, because of Rabi, most probably we don't have two departments with the same name, right? And even less probable that Rabi leads two of them. So we can put just that name here. The result is the same.
What happens if we put star?
Oh, it's not gonna work, but let's try it. I don't know, I expect it's gonna throw an error.
No.
It's work.
And why does it work actually?
It's just a new update.
Huh? Right.
Select code, yeah. Yeah, it should work.
Probably it's gonna count all the unique combinations of all the fields here, which is kind of fine. But when you do it with asterisk, it's very expensive. So you'd better rely on one field, maybe two. Here in the result, it's something you're gonna need in JavaScript. When you execute such a query, it's gonna return you some sort of array of results, and the key is gonna be like count asterisk. You don't want to have such a thing in JavaScript.
I use it.
Oh, see, something goes wrong today with typing, huh? So many typos. Instead of count asterisks, we have nice human readable thing here. This thing after S, this is alias. It's basically like a nice human form of alias.
Placeholder.
Yeah, it's like variable name for some sort of statement, right? This is a statement, but we want to have it nice and readable, so we give it a nice readable name. Just like that. Do we want to execute some queries for salary? Oh yeah, we do. So we need to insert some more employees. We have none here, but we're gonna insert them. Do I have anything prepared? No. Insert into. Leave me.
Hilal.
Hmm?
Hilal.
No. We have to finish the query.
Employee,
Yeah, go.
insert into employee, and values or set.
What kind of structure do we have for employees? We have ID, which is gonna be created for us.
Name.
Name, salary, and department ID. I'm gonna copy it like this. I'm gonna paste it here so we have it. Wild way. In the previous query, when we were inserting data into departments, remember we were specifying IDs. We were specifying IDs. This time we're not gonna do that. We're gonna test this function of MySQL auto-increment. We're gonna see how it works. So name, salary, and department ID.
Hilal.
Salary.
How much?
2000.
No, 10,000.
4,000.
My God.
10, okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He's the one, by the way. But
You mean me?
The head of the board.
All right. What kind of department you work?
Yes.
He's a strategic
About that,
department.
the head of department.
Strategy manager.
We don't have such a thing here.
Okay.
Like, choose one of these.
1 or 3.
Oh,
The purchase.
purchase is fine, yeah.
Right. And probably this is it, right? ID gonna be auto-incremented and auto-generated for us. Name specified, salary specified. Department ID is also fine. And then we have foreign key constraints. Should be fine, right? All right. One more. Like we need quite some new records to make this aggregation.
Mehmet. MEH. MEH. T.
How much money do you want?
20?
Yes, enough.
What department?
what do you want to work?
It's there.
HR?
102.
Right, 102. Some more.
Jim.
Oh, probably it's like this, right?
Okay. 5,000.
It's not very generous, huh?
Just copy machine. Boy.
Right, what department? Probably HR, copy machine, huh?
Yeah, sure.
They need many copy machines there.
Yeah.
Who else?
John. Keep the same salary. And
We didn't use it. Same. 1, 0.
What? 1.
It's 1.
1, 0, 1.
Entertaining guy gonna be this John.
I work with the English.
Speaking about Unmesh. How much?
Give him 1,000 enough.
I gonna tell it to him. What department?
HR.
Department
But
finance.
it's gonna be
Let's put him to death, huh? Someone have to work, huh?
Yeah, okay.
Someone have to develop that stuff, you know. Rabbi, I'm putting you here. What? How much do you want?
It's 500.
500.
500 of what? Of 1,000?
No, just 500.
It's all right. And what you gonna do?
Dev.
The cheapest dev ever.
Yes.
All right.
Something, man.
He's volunteer.
One more name, and we are done.
I quit.
CH, right? Yeah. How much do you want?
1 euro.
Come on!
Now he's like, working charity or something.
All right. 2,000 gonna be. What do you want to do?
Make websites.
So it's gonna be
Is
dev.
it department 103?
103, right? Front end?
Yeah.
Nice. That's it. Let's have a look how many records do we have here. Yeah, it's a decent amount of records, huh? So, what do we want to know here?
Every seller.
Is there any relation between
Between two? Yeah, maybe. Why? Let's have a look at aggregations. Let's wrap it, and we're gonna switch to relations and to joins. It's gonna be like one last big part for us, and then we're gonna talk about triggers only because of we have it in curriculum. But actually nobody uses triggers. It's a very bad idea. So how do you know what's the maximum salary here? Yeah.
Select max.
Max by what field? Salary. Like this, right? Do we need where?
This
Huh?
No.
Yeah, because we are interested in like the maximum salary in the whole company, right? All right. So, yeah. How do I know to what person belongs such a salary?
before max? I don't know. Just I guess
What before max?
name.
Like this?
select
Select name from employee where salary max.
no. Select.
Yes, select name from employer.
Where?
Max salary. Maybe, I don't know.
So the thing is, when you use aggregation function, you cannot use columns anymore.
So it's just standalone.
Yeah, it's gonna return you like one value. Same goes for minimums, same goes for maximum, for average, for this kind of things.
So what would be the solution?
We can use two queries. Select name from employee where salary equals select max salary from employee.
Yeah, you might combine two select statements, but it's something different. We're gonna talk about it later if we have time, because we have like 20 minutes and then beer is waiting, you know. So the same we're gonna do with minimum salary, right? It's not a magic, we just do minimum. And we quite obviously see that it's 500. Also, we can do average. Yeah, just like this. Oh, it's quite a precise number, huh? All right.
Max count.
What if we want to know average salary in the department? In the department. So it's, the start is gonna be like this, probably.
Yes. And where the department name or department ID, for example, 102.
Right, we have few records for 102, right?
Yes.
Right. And it's different from average salary
Yes.
in the whole company.
I think there is way with the concat.
Okay.
Yeah. Select concat name as name or just name.
Like this?
Yeah,
It's for the
the
maximum
max, yeah,
salary, right?
for the maximum salary.
Yeah, for maximum salary. No, it will not work.
Still no. You have to use group by.
Group by.
We're gonna get to it in. So, and what we're gonna do if we want to know average salary for all the departments.
All departments.
Like, I mean, like one department and average salary, second department average salary.
We have to create a multiple row, right?
Yeah, we have to output multiple rows.
Yeah. And you can create more where for that.
Like where?
Where department ID 102 and comma.
For this you use in.
Yeah.
See, if you have to specify like where department ID 102 and where department ID 103, you just can combine it in one in statement. And then it's like array, you know. Nope. It's gonna take two departments and return you like one average salary for the department. Think for a second and I'll be back in 1 minute.
I think this is how you can find your name, how you can find maximum salary. Who can earn money here? One is Yücel Korkut, the first name.
Just if you have two.
Yeah.
Where's the content? Where is it?
Program to I found it.
I think this part.
Wait a second. There's
For
no,
us.
nothing here. No, nothing. It's,
Maybe
not,
related to this one.
What was it?
so if you go for those of where salary is select.
But you
Next,
don't
I don't
have
have-
my
yeah.
credit. Okay.
Yeah,
next.
That's
Did you get the thing working?
Yeah,
Like my
first
first
ring.
Yeah,
I tried to count 2-3 times, but I
Payments.
But there is here a group by but it's
You can find the name. Yes, it's correct, but it's for the all. You can find the name.
They're all the same. They
Yes, you can find the name like that.
yeah.
there's here the group by also.
Yeah.
See, I cannot find the installation path.
No, they just trying to figure out how to get the range salary by phone.
Or something state department.
Yeah.
You can group two different departments in
Say,
yeah,
terminal of Windows.
You can group different departments in the same area. Group one.
you can see them separately.
Yes.
Have you followed the YouTube tutorial?
Oh,
For this
First week, I watched it in really.
The four hall.
for my
Four hours, yes.
That's what
I just watched it just 40 minutes.
No, I watched the whole show.
Oh.
But
Really?
in parts. Yeah. But all covered.
I don't know what
Really?
Everyone.
Yes, I think group is the key there. So I guess like if you group it
He's American, he's very.
Yeah.
I think he's not American, he's British.
All right. Any ideas?
What should be?
Any ideas? How do we do that? I want to see all the available departments with average salaries.
Employee group by deadline.
How to?
Yeah, we have to use something called group by. And here we're supposed to specify one or more fields by which we want to group by. Yeah. When we want to know some, like department ID is a subject, right? By this field we want to group by. Dept ID.
All that ID,
Select average salary.
create another one.
Doing by department.
But we still don't see the department name, right?
Sure. It's called just maximum.
See the difference. Before we couldn't specify the field name, right? But now when we use group by, we can, because of our salary. It's something scalar value. It's basically just a number, right? And it doesn't belong to any field. But when we use group by, this average salary calculated due to in relation to some field. We can use it here.
Maybe we can get the total the person amount because of that is also just for the department. For example, how many people working on the department 101?
Yeah.
You just say that.
No problem about that. Yeah, it's a good idea. It's like one more good example of aggregation. Do we want to do that? Or we are very short in time. Like
Yes, 10 minutes.
it's all because of the presentation. We are not being slow, but because of them, right?
Yes.
Not because of us. All right, we had a look at group by aggregations, right? Can we know the maximum salary per department? Gentlemen,
Yes, you can find same way the maximum salary
yeah,
and the group by debt ID.
yeah.
Same.
Basically, we replace average with maximum,
Yeah,
right?
that's the average.
Same goes for minimum, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Seems like you got it. Right, now the most important part basically of the selection and probably about the whole relational databases. Joins. Joined means, no, not join. Oh, well. Join means like you take one table and you join other table. If we have a look at this structure one-to-many, for example, we have bunch of employees, right? But quite often we also want to know to what department the employee belongs. Or, all right, we have the department there. It's cool, right? But what kind of what employees belong to this apartment? How many people work there? What's our salary for these people and stuff like that. So we want to join two tables, 2 or 3 or something like that. Like you can join many of them, but it's going to be more and more expensive in terms of performance. You don't want to join many. So what we do? I will open a link which shows this. I'm not gonna do drawings like Unmesh does, but I will use something like this. So you can think this is first circle is one table. Oh no, I gonna do drawings. Or maybe not. And this circle is employees. Let's have a look. Do we have any employee who doesn't belong anywhere? Nope. I want to know if department ID can be null, so I can make one more employee who will not belong anywhere. It's gonna be me. Right. Salary, like, I don't know. Yeah, why not? And I'm not gonna specify department ID at all. Here I am. I don't know what for I'm getting this salary, but it's a nice salary. So let's have a look. I want to see departments and the list of employees. How do I do that? Join. I want to use join. And here I specify on what condition I join two tables. Here we look at this department ID field. So look at this. So we are selecting everything from department. So we have all the information of department, right? And then we join employee table. That's how we have information about employee and department both. But if we join two tables without this condition, actually let's do it. We see a total mess. These columns till here, this belongs to department table, right? These columns, they belong to employee table. And we have department ID repeated 6 times here. It's because of we have 6 departments. So basically we have, you know what is Cartesian product? We have 5 records in one table, we have 5 records in another table. If you join like this, you have 25 records. 5 multiply to 5. This is like Cartesian products, and this information doesn't make any sense. These are all the possible combinations of these 5 rows. Makes no sense at all, doesn't give you any value, useless. This is why we use this thing. Let's have a look. First, again, we have department, right? Because we started with department. Second, we have employees. But this time, we know that John belongs to fund department. Jim belongs to HR department because he's a copy machine guy. Right? Chris belongs to front-end department. We have some devs over here. Belong to dev department. This is now, it starts making sense. All these foreign keys, right? This is how it works, those relations. Questions?
Can you show the previous query again?
The previous query had only these 2 lines, without the 3rd line.
If it is ID match. If ID is match.
Here we go. Because we have, if you remember, we still have one person who doesn't work for any department. He's not there. Why?
Because there's no match. There's no ID.
The department ID is
Yeah. How do we fix this. So basically, if you look at those two circles, right? Here we have departments, and here we have employees, right? And right now we get intersection of these two circles. So basically, we have all the users, all the employees with for whom we have specified department ID. If ID is not specified, it doesn't belong to intersection anymore. So it was called inner join. We have only intersection when two tables match each other. Now we might want to look at left join. So what does it mean? We take all the departments and merge all the employees. In our case, the result will be the same, so it won't show much. But we're gonna try right join. Yeah, it's gonna be like. So what's the difference here?
Yeah, it includes the one who doesn't have any department.
Mm-hmm. And what do we see here? We see null values here, which means we have also eager person who doesn't belong anywhere. On this picture, we have like employees right here and departments here. It's filled with nulls. How clear is that? You might be very smart if it's clear for you from the first time. Oh, I'm just.
We have to get exercise.
Huh?
We have to find exercise for that one.
Yeah.
How do you decide which left or right to go to the new command?
You use your imagination.
It's clear table.
Yeah, so
So
basically,
it's really easy.
you compose a query, right? You select from departments, which means you imagine departments being here on the left, right? And then you join one more table. In our case, it's employees. You put the table on your right.
Yeah.
And then you like use your imagination and you say like, I want to give some priority to the right table. Because in the right table, we have some records which don't belong to the first one, but still we want to see them. And I want to give the priority to the right one. And you say, right join. It's a very sloppy explanation, but I really hope you understand it.
It's just something like what's it, algebra. So
It's something like what?
algebra.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, mathematics. Yeah, I think it's kind of algebra this one. Because
Yeah,
you need to
indeed.
see everything, from the right, like
Yeah.
see all of this on the right side.
One set, second
Exactly.
set, intersection,
And
subsets.
without left side.
Yeah, indeed. But you don't see it without left side. Left side is being like populated by nulls, like we see right here, you know?
Yeah.
This is the best explanation I can give you so far about that. During your homework, you might want to like look around and read some more articles, ask more questions and stuff like that, because this subject is quite complicated. And it really comes from mathematics, from algebra, all these kind of things, which I haven't learned. Well, I have, but it's a different story. All right, we have Oh, we don't have any. All right, it's good because I anyway didn't want to tell you about triggers. Yeah. So, all right, 3 more minutes and we'll be done. All right. So triggers. Remember this sort of validations which are happening. Like you cannot insert too short name, but this is how the trigger works. I want to give you context from something we know already. Remember MySQL told us you cannot insert null value for this field, right? MySQL also does all this kind of validations for you. For example, if you specify int like in parentheses 2, and when you try to insert int 11 there, MySQL will throw you an exception. You cannot insert it. It doesn't fit there. Or if you specify a type of field like varchar of 255 and you try to insert 256 there, it won't fit. So, but MySQL doesn't give you validation for minimum amount of symbols in the string. That's why people come up with triggers. Triggers can compare dates. Triggers can do validations on string level. Triggers can do all this kind of things which MySQL doesn't do by default, so you extend MySQL with your own triggers. It sounds very nice. It's cool, like let's put all the logic to MySQL, but nobody does that. That was my first trigger I created for like last 12 years. Nobody ever used it. Why? Because if you want to describe such a logic, basically you are describing a business logic of your application. And here we have your application described in code, right? And here we have MySQL, which you can change only using these migrations, right? It's a very complex and inefficient way to change your business logic. You prefer to have your business logic in your code, where you do your change, you write a small test, and bam, you push it, and it's there, and that's it. You don't need to change your database. So people do this sort of validations on the application side. JavaScript is way, way better with that. And it's cheaper, and it's more efficient, and it's testable. In MySQL, it's not testable. You can have those triggers, but when someone says, oh, can we create a MySQL trigger for that? You stand up, you slap this person a little bit and say like, no. That's it. This is the end of the lecture.